This is Donaueschingen and the official source of the Danube River. It's actually the confluence of two streams, Brigasch and Breg, but still considered the start of the Danube. For us it's also the start of the Danube bike route. And this is Munderkingen 15 kilometers downstream, and the Danube is gone. The Danube bike route goes from Donaueschingen 3000 kilometers along the river, all the way to the Black Sea. It coincides with Eurovelo 6, and apart from Passau to Vienna is considered one of the best bike routes in Europe. You can see more about that part in another video, but now we'll head out of Donaueschingen and see how well this first part compares to the Passau-Vienna section. The first part of the route is rather uneventful, and you ride mainly on nice bike paths and small country roads, through fields and smaller villages. The Danube really does disappear shortly after the source. In the Munderkingen it goes underground for a couple of kilometers, and the bike route continues over the fields with a blue line indicating its presence. And luckily the river resurfaces soon again. It's not big, but it's back. After Kelheim, the valley narrows. You cycle under a shading canopy interrupted by lovely scenery. The route follows the river, which still is moderately broad. The Danube widens and the route alternates between the riverbanks and the countryside through fields, interrupted by small villages. On the route after you pass Ulm, you spend more time away from the river. You ride through a countryside of fields, much on unpaved roads which are good to cycle on, but sometimes quite dusty. Part of the route runs on the embankments of the Danube with good views of the river. The cycling is uneventful and relaxing. There are unfortunately several detours signposted, which hopefully are temporary as they sometimes are much less scenic. Luckily, there is always another picturesque village around the corner with refreshments after the dusty roads. Between Ingolstadt and Regensburg, the route ends at the Weltenburg Abbey as the valley narrows into a gorge too narrow to encompass any roads. You then have a choice of climbing the hills and make a detour, or catch a ride with one of the boats ferrying bike tourists downstream. The scenery well motivates the boat trip between the steep cliffs, and it takes you halfway to Kelheim, where you continue on a narrow road close to the river. The part from Regensburg to Passau offers relaxed cycling and a mix of countryside roads and river embankments. The Danube has grown in size and you start to see commercial traffic on it. So what about the original question? How does the first part of the Danube route compare to the Passau-Vienna section? The nature of the route is similar, but the Passau-Vienna section has more. More scenic parts, more variation, more paved bike lanes, and also more cyclists. Passau-Vienna is still outstanding among bike routes, but Donaueschingen-Passau comes in close. This is the confluence of the Inn and Danube rivers and the end of our trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on another route.